Thanks very much, Karen. Always trying to help you out, JD, every chance I get. So today I'm talking about the GoFishVic app, the game changer, and it is almost here. I'm really excited about it. But first I want to give you a little bit of context to the game changer. And you know, we've heard today how good our native fishing is. You know, right across the state, heaps of different species. You know, John and Andy are out catching huge Murray cod at Eildon. We've heard from Gus catching 55 centimetre bass in Gippsland. Anthony McGrath yesterday caught a big trout cod, his first cod, and then he caught a 68 centimetre Murray cod. And just quickly, could we give him a round of applause? It's a great achievement. Well done, Macca. Fantastic. And he had a really big smile on the next photo as well. You know, Tiff Newton's out there catching big yellow belly. We're seeing Sonny Brislin catching his first big metre cod at Eildon. Kids are catching their first Murray cod. Families are out there. Young Max De Silva's getting cod as well. We're seeing ladies getting into it. Silver perch, some of our threatened species seem to be coming back. Yorick's getting amongst it. We're getting great reports around the place. And even our very own CEO is getting a few cod as well. And lures for the first time, Trav. We did get a second photo as well shortly afterwards, a couple of days later, and it got us thinking about this, Trav. These fish look kind of similar, just a little bit. So just really quickly, I want to touch on this. So we had our forensic team to look into these photos. You know, they're a very similar size, these fish. I want to point out you're wearing the same shirt in these photos. You have the same hat on as well. You are in the same boat, but you've actually moved to the back of the boat for the second photo. Very craftily, you're wearing sunglasses in one photo and a different life jacket as well. But the ultimate that you've pulled off here, you've turned the fish around. So we couldn't apply our cod facial recognition technology. So unfortunately, Trav, the jury's still out on whether this was two fish or just one fish. And John, clearly it's a risk taker if Trav got it as well. So, you know, everyone's catching fish out there. Our native fisheries are going great. You know, they're really, really good, and all of you guys are getting amongst it as well. The reason why they're going so well is because we're doing lots of things to improve our fisheries. So, you know, Jared talked about habitat restoration and stocking. We've got excellent regulations for our native species. We've got the slot limit for Murray cod and various other regulations. Lots of things are going on, you know, changing angler behaviours, better handling, the Care for Cod initiative. But the one I want to talk about today is monitoring, the last one on the list. Why should we care about monitoring? Well, for me, monitoring is about understanding the things that we're doing to make sure that our fisheries are tracking okay, that we're seeing that they're healthy and they're performing like we expect them to, and the things that we're doing are working. So making sure that habitat we're putting in and those stocked fish are surviving and our fisheries are getting better and better. If we don't monitor, we don't know how we're tracking, and really flying blind. So we want to see this continually improve. It's all about improving our fisheries and seeing how we're going. And we've seen some excellent monitoring information presented today by Brett. These health report cards are fantastic. You know, they provide us with unprecedented information on the performance of our fisheries. They've got, you know, how many small fish, the recruitment coming through. They see the big fish. We can see what's breeding across our rivers. Gives us really good insight into how our fisheries are going. We can't do this monitoring everywhere though. We've done this on 10 rivers over the last 3 years, and there's probably at least 300 different native fisheries out there across Victoria. We've got to manage them all, and we want to make sure they're all performing well. We can't do surveys everywhere. The other thing is those surveys tell us about how the fish are going in the water. They don't tell us how the fisheries are actually performing. So, you know, we've got a challenge ahead of us there. We do have a new opportunity though amongst us, and it's sitting in your pocket in front of us, and it's technology. You know, it's smartphones. Can I see a show of hands how many of you have a smartphone? Yeah, nearly everyone's got a smartphone. How many of you, show of hands, use your smartphone with your fishing? You know, check the weather, take photos, you know, share information. Yeah, nearly everyone's doing it. So this is happening, you know, right across Victoria and around the world. People are interacting with their fishing through their smartphone. They're looking at the weather, they're looking at the conditions, taking those photos. They're interacting on social media, on pages like Murray Cod Fishing, which is run by Sam Consolo and Bailey Thomas, do a fantastic job. There's other groups out there for Yellow Belly as well, and they've got tens of thousands of members. And if you look at these sites, every couple of minutes, someone is sharing their catch and effort information. And Karen, I've got one of her posts from earlier in the week, and she's got I Love Cod Fishing, and it's a post about her and her husband and her family going out, catching a couple of cod on the Loddon River. This is fantastic information for us to see how our fisheries are performing, and this is happening all around us. We're just not really collecting it at the moment. There's other fishers as well that are posting a lot about their fishing, and Exhibit A is Paul Thomas. If you're like me, you might see a few photos of Paul popping up. He's caught a lot of cod, and Trav, just for the record, we did apply our cod facial recognition technology on this, and we can confirm these are all individual cod. Paul is a very good fisherman, okay? So we'll get to yours though eventually. But the point is, this information's out there, and we'd love to be able to collect it. There are efforts underway around the world to do this, and they're through these things called smartphone applications, smartphone apps. Some of you might have seen these. There's some in the App Store at the moment called FishBrain or iAngler, and they're really cool things. You can track your fishing in it. Lots of them are for commercial purposes, but the really good ones actually help you improve your fishing. So you can learn from it, you use it as a diary, and you get better. And the even better ones give some of that information back to help us manage our fisheries. So they're seen as a more cost-effective and engaging way to follow how our fisheries are performing. They're happening in places like the United States and some in Europe. They've had them for about 5 years, and we think they could be a good idea. Here's just really quickly how they work. So pretend this angler in the middle here is Trav, and he's gone for a fish. He's caught a Murray cod, and what he does is he takes a photo of that fish, and he gets onto his app and he records that he's caught a Murray cod. He says how big it is, roughly where he went fishing, and what he does is sends it into the app. It goes into the server, and from it he gets some really useful information about his fishing over time. The more he does it, the more he can learn how his catch rates are going. He can look back on that information and see what worked and what didn't, so he can get better over time. The second part of this feedback loop is if we have lots of anglers collecting this information for us, all of a sudden we can put that information together and we can get an idea of how our whole fisheries are performing. So if we get 800,000 anglers fishing across Victoria and 1,000 of those fish Lake Eildon, we can get some really good information on how Lake Eildon's performing, and then we can make better decisions around things like stocking and regulations and habitat, and that will come back to benefit the angler. We can also tell anglers some secrets that we've learnt too. What time of year fish bite, what sort of techniques are more effective than others. So it all comes back to benefit the fishermen. So with that in mind, this movement happening around the place, the need for us to monitor our fisheries, and the opportunities with everyone doing it through their smartphone, we've created an app. It's called GoFishVic. It's essentially an angler diary app. And the benefits are, we get more improved fisheries understanding. We can make better decisions about how we manage our fisheries. Anglers can get improved fishing success, and it's fun and free. It's got lots of really cool features. I could talk all day about it and take you through it, but what I'm going to do now is just really quickly show you a video which walks you through some of the features. And in this video, we've recruited some gun anglers to feature in it. Keep your eyes peeled and see if you recognise anyone. And we might need those lights just to dim down for 2 minutes.
Introducing GoFishVic, a new app by the Victorian Fisheries Authority that revolutionises the way anglers approach fishing. By allowing fishers to record and share their successes, GoFishVic provides unprecedented insight to improve your fishing success and discover fishing hotspots across Victoria. Every year, thousands of anglers like you fish countless rivers, lakes, bays and offshore waters. Until now, there has been no centralised place that stores all the data recorded by anglers around the state. The GoFishVic app changes this, offering many benefits for the individual fisher, angling clubs and fisheries management as well. The app includes an angler diary feature, which allows every angler to log and view their catch data by trip, species and location. Over time, you'll be able to review your own performance and compare your catch rates with your mates. You can also choose what privacy settings suit you best, so there's no need to worry about giving away your secret angling spots. As the information in the database builds, app users will receive the latest insights into the best performing waterways in Victoria, helping you fish and get the best tips on how to catch more fish. In planned upgrades, GoFishVic will help fishers find an organised fishing event or join a local angling club. Angling clubs can use GoFishVic to attract more members and promote their fishing events. The latest fishing competition results and events are all provided in one spot, making it easier for you to remain in touch with the angling community. The data captured by anglers throughout the state is a crucial aspect of fishery management. Understanding catch rates, species and size of fish tells us a lot about how our fisheries are performing. This information will be used by the VFA to monitor the health of our waterways. Using GoFishVic will ensure a strong and sustainable future for Victorian anglers. You can join the community of anglers by changing the way Victorians fish. Download the app from the Google Play or App Store today. GoFishVic. It's your fishery. Get involved.
So beautiful Werribee River that day, and Anthony and I caught 0 fish on the Werribee that day, but we did get some flathead out the front. And that tells you a bit about some of the features of the app, and I'll touch on those just 1 second. I'm sure you saw that and you thought, I don't know about this, you know. There's probably a couple of things which came up in your thinking. We do have some challenges with apps like this, and one of them you might have thought about is privacy. You know, no one wants to give away their secret spot. I don't want to tell you guys where I go fishing and have success. I might tell a couple of friends, but I don't want to broadcast it. What I can tell you is this app's not an evil plan for me to get all of your secret fishing spots. You know, the app controls your privacy really well, and we don't want this happening, you know, telling everyone about your secret spot. So, you know, when you use the app, you don't need to put in exactly where you went fishing. It's not about that. It's about what water body you fished would be really good. We don't need to know John's secret point that he catches all his Murray cod in Eildon, but we'd love to know if he fished Eildon and what he's caught at Eildon in general, because that's sort of the unit that we measure at, that we want to talk about. And you can share information with your mates on as much as or as little as you want. You can share it to social media completely, or you might just want to share it just with someone and that's all, or tell no one anything at all. So you've got full control around that. This is not about giving away your secret spots. The other one you might have thought about is accuracy. You know, it's a voluntary system. You enter in your own information and how much of it as you want. And I'll take you back to this photo. You know, when Trav caught this fish, he sent it around and he said it was 87 centimetres. And I just want to point out, just look at the size of the hands here. You know, like, he's got big hands, but 87 centimetres, I don't know. So, you know, accuracy is something that we're dealing with. And you could get these fish fingers to really fool us, but hopefully most people, you know, will be honest with their recording. You know, we'll encourage photos for personal bests, and you'll certainly need that if you show your friends. We can do forms to limit the size of fish, and we can query those outliers. If you're entering a lot of 3-metre flatties, we'll be a little bit sus about that. So why should you give it a go? You know, this is about improving your fishing success. Ultimately, we want you to have more success. So you use it as a diary, you learn from it, you get better over time. Some of our best fishers use a diary, and they pick up on those things that have worked really well in the past, whether it be weather conditions, barometric pressure, moon, certain baits, different tides and things like that. You can put all of that in the app and then look back on it and say, oh, that's when I got those kingies or when I caught all those bass, and have a look what works. So you get better over time. This is a picture of John Kirk down the bottom. He's 93 years old. He's been recording a fishing diary all his life. He's a very good fisherman because he's had the analogue version of the app, essentially writing it down. And we've got Bailey there with the new version of the app, which makes it really easy for everyone to get these benefits and record their diary. It's about us improving fishing for everyone. So we could do report cards like this for Lake Eildon on the right-hand side, where we can look at, well, how's it going? We're getting lots of anglers fishing it. They've fished a lot of hours. This many Murray cod and golden perch have been caught. We can track the catch rates and see how it looks. And we can look at the size of the fish and make better decisions around our stocking. Ultimately, you know, it's got to be fun and free. So you can look at your catch rate data. You've got a brag board. So your mates say, how's your fishing going? Press a button, it comes up and it's got your top 5 personal bests. And you can click on the photos and bring them up really easy and show them. You can collate all your fishing photos. So there's aspects for the individual. There's also aspects for the angling clubs too. So set up competitions, to manage the membership, to get more people in and to score their competitions. And we'll definitely do the Grand Slam like Gus is talking about and set up these competitions across the state. We'll also do lots of incentives this summer for people to give it a go and give it a real crack. So this summer, yeah, give it a go. Don't download it yet. The first version or the upgraded version comes out on the 1st of January. So download it from the Apple Store and Google Play then. We'll have lots of communications about it. And we're going to do 5 forums around the state to introduce it to everyone. Ngambie, Ballarat, Bairnsdale, Warrnambool and Melbourne. And happy to come out to angling clubs too and really walk you through it, how it works. It's really easy, but you know, we want to get feedback and we want anglers to really work with us to make it a product that you really like. Get on board. GoFishVic is going to be a game changer. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Taylor. I reckon it's pretty exciting that we're going to have something like that in Victoria. And as of tomorrow, there's 4 of us WRF leaders heading down to Tasmania to the National Recreational Fishing Conference, where we're learning about citizen science. And this is going to be a game changer for us. We can go down there and say, this is what Victoria is doing. And it's going to be a huge impact for our fishery into the future. So I hope you all get on board, have a go at it. To finish off, I'm going to invite Travis back up on the stage, ready for the Q&A session.
Thanks, Karen. I just wanted to say how enjoyable all those presentations were. I really want to congratulate Taylor, and just if ever I congratulate Taylor. So he's... Not a lot of people know this, but Taylor today got posted to the Simpson Desert for his next fishing couple of years. So enjoy that, Taylor. It's going to be fantastic, mate. Have a great time. Lots of fish out there, mate. And well done, Gus and John Cahill, lovely people. And the thing about fishing, and Yorick and I talk about it in the boat a lot, but fishing, you just get to meet so many wonderful people, and as you can see, part of it is not taking yourself too seriously, enjoying your fishing, but really understanding that you're out there to have a great time. So, and really well chaired, Karen. So we've got some time left now. We're going to try and wrap up by 3:15. Gus is going to give us a wrap up of the day and some reflections. But before we do that, can I just invite everyone who's been a speaker today and who's still here up on the stage, and then we're going to open it up to the audience to ask some questions or provide some comments. So those who've had a little bit to present today, if you'd like to come up, that'd be great. Now, Jules, have we got some people with some mics to walk?